Hey guys, and welcome back to the Geek Street where the street speaks. Once again, my name is Jess, and I have my geek buddies over here, Sean and Eric. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
So, as usual, it's only the three of us. It's always like one of us cannot make it. I don't know, when was the last we actually had all four of us together? Was it She-Hulk?
Love and Love and
No, 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 that I wasn't here.
oh yeah. Yeah, I think She-Hulk episode 4 or 5, I think.
Ah. So yeah, today we are missing out on one of the biggest Star Wars geek, Harvin. He insisted to make this video, but then he cannot make it today. But it's okay. We'll still go ahead and do our breakdown, and later Mr. Harvin will join for the other episodes. So yeah, as you all know, this is the breakdown for Andor, which is a series of Star Wars. So recently, we've been getting a lot of series from the Star Wars universe. We've had Mandalorian, we've had the Book of Boba Fett, and then now we have Obi-Wan, and then now Andor. So before we go ahead with some of the Easter eggs and references and storyline on what we see about Andor, I just want to know what are your takes on this whole 3 episodes that was just released in Disney Plus Hotstar.
Sean,
Well, you go first, lah.
you go first lah.
Okay. Is there nothing much to say? I am still, how to say, finding myself inside the series. Okay. It's not. There's a lot of things that I need to, of course, know. Because this is a prequel, it's not like it's a standalone, or it's not like a very prominent sort of. I would just say it is a prominent character, right? But Cassian Andor, but it's not how to say, like like your okay. Let's say like Obi-Wan, for example. You can relate to him very well, right? Because you grew up watching Obi-Wan, and you know his story and things like that. But with Cassian Andor, it's like you only had one movie, right? And then you have a prequel about him. So it's still something that we need to learn about, and we see where we go from there.
Yeah, I think I would agree with with Arvin with Sean.
Because you say that, or because you agree with Harvin most of the time.
Yeah. I think I have to agree with Sean because like Sean said, we knew Obi-Wan and Darth Vader for a very long time, and with Andor Cassian Andor, we only had one, which is Rogue One. So there's not much of a story. We don't know his before. We don't know his after. So now it's a prequel story. So it feels like watching a new series actually. I feel like I was starting a new series without any background whatsoever, but there's just a little bit lore and relation here and there to the Star Wars universe. That's about it lah. So yeah, I will see how the remaining episodes go from here on. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I pretty much feel the same as well. Like you guys mentioned. So I'm just gonna repeat back the same thing. So I don't need to do that. Let's just jump into the references and Easter eggs for Endor episode 1, 2, and 3. So guys, before we go ahead, I just want to let you all know that this is not a breakdown video. Maybe you guys might be used to us doing a lot of breakdowns. It might take a little bit of time. But since this is a premiere episodes and 3 episodes were released in one go, episode 1, 2, and 3, we decided that, because there's nothing really much going on. If you guys watch the episodes, you practically understand what is going on. But we are here to help you fill in a little bit of details that you think that you might have missed out, or that might get you a little bit confused along the way. So yeah, the story starts with episode 1. Before we jump into episode 1, I just want to explain to you guys a little bit about Cassian Andor for those who never really follow Star Wars lore. So like Sean and Eric mentioned earlier, Casian Andor appeared in Rogue One. So in Rogue One, he's actually one of the rebel fighters in the Star Wars prequel story. So this is during Star Wars: A New Hope, you know. So this story actually takes place like it shows in the opening of the series, 5 BBY. So BBY, I think this is the first time the term BBY is being stated in a Star Wars series, because usually it's been referenced by a Star Wars fan. BBY basically means battle before Yavin, the Battle of Yavin. So, Battle of Yavin basically is the battle that took place during Star Wars: A New Hope. So, the story takes place 5 years before that. So, in 5 years' time, Cassian Andor is going to die with Jyn Erso. So, uh, it's a very short time frame for this guy, but I hope that we can actually enjoy his story and get reveal a lot, in his very short life in the Star Wars series. So yeah,
No, you can also tell how long is it between Rogue One and this series.
He mentioned
yes, sir.
You mentioned Rogue One or New Hope?
You see, Rogue One basically takes place
the
what I think
beginning
like
of the
like
New
a
Hope.
few
Yeah.
months, yeah, like probably a few weeks or a few months before the events of New Hope. So you guys know in Rogue One, that is where Jane also meets Cassian Andor and she joins the rebel group, and then they work on stealing the Death Star plans, and then from there they give the Death Star plans to Princess Leia, and then that's where the story of A New Hope comes in. So it's not very long in between that. Lah. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, the story begins with that, and basically Cassian is looking for his sister. So you can see where the story is taking place. The story is basically showing how he became a rebel fighter. This is the before part. Yeah. So played Andor is played by Diego Luna. Also, he's reprising his character again in the series, and it also gives a little bit of background about Cassian Andor. He is from the planet Canary. So Canary it sounds like the car that we have, what Porua Canary. Uh, I, not really that great of a car, but yeah, it reminded me of that. Um, yeah, so he's from Canary and he lives in Ferrix right now, right? So Canary is sort of like a lost civilization, lost planet kind of thing that is going on. Lah. So the place Ferrix is sort of like a place where they do breaking down ships and rebuilding them. So you have like a huge shipyard. So do you think that maybe the rebels might get, because when you watch Star Wars: A New Hope, the rebels have all the spaceship is all like refurbished, reconditioned spacecraft, right? So I have a feeling maybe this may be the place where they get all their supplies from, lah, from the planet Ferrix. So aside from that, we also get introduced to a new character, which is a new droid. So as you guys know, in every Star Wars movie or series,
All
there's
game.
always a new droid. Was it?
All game.
Okay. There's always a new droid. Sorry, I never really played the Star Wars games. Eric played, so he's very, protective of the game. But yeah, the Star Wars games also fit in the Star Wars universe. They're all canon, so we have the knowledge and part. Like, so yeah, we have a new droid which is called B2EMO. So short form is the B2, or you can call him Bimo. Like Bimo from Adventure Time. Adventure Time.
It's like B2 emo.
Yeah,
Don't be too
don't,
emo.
don't do emo, Sean. So yeah, any Adventure Time fans out there, give a shout out to Bimo. You want to call him B2, Emo, or Bimo? I would prefer to call him Bimo because it's a cuter name. And we also get introduced to the antagonists, I would say, in the storyline. So we are already so used to with the rebels and the empire, but this one focuses on the agency that actually works for the empire, which is the Premorets. So they're sort of like I could say like a security guard. agency and works as an extension to
Is
overlook.
it Primarex or Preox Morlana?
Molana is the planet where and now Casian went looking for his sister. Premox is basically the name of the agency lah. So like their base is over there. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think yeah, Molana is the planet. So
Because I see I mean, from what I read is that Preox Morlana is the corporation.
oh,
So yeah. I'm sorry, Jess. But I just
fine.
wanted to clarify only.
It's okay. All of us are new into this. These are all new mentions. We don't know any more about it.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay. So yeah. And then we also get introduced to the actor Kyle Soller who plays Cyril. So he's basically the officer. So you know, like in Obi-Wan, you have this one obsessed person, which was third sister hunting after Obi-Wan. So now this guy over here, he's the obsessed officer who is trying to hunt down Cassian Andor and to seek justice for the two people that he killed. Lah. And we also get introduced to Eric, can you help me? The actors
Which one?
Biggs.
Oh,
So
Adria Arjona. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Orjana. Or
She's
Jonah.
she's Mexican, so it's Arjona. It's
Arjuna.
Ardia Arjona.
Arjona.
when it comes to
Yeah.
girls' names, you can always refer to Eric.
Adria
give you the
Orhana.
information.
Oh, nice name.
Yeah, very nice name. Beautiful actress. I love her.
What?
I mean,
What?
I love her talents and also
Okay.
other things aside from talent.
Gotta watch your words, Jess.
So, if you guys don't know who she is, she acted in one of the movies that we look forward most to, but then we were also disappointed, which was Morbius. So that last scene where she just opens her eyes, that was very cringy. But yeah, it's so I think she's redeeming herself by being in the Star Wars series. And yeah, basically that's practically about episode one. It's just an introduction of characters and what do they do, and also the base storyline of that. Okay, so now let's jump into episode two. So episode two goes into a flashback of Destin and all because in episode one also they show a little bit of flashback where they're like children, sort of like the lost boys from Peter Pan or something, just like stranded. It got me wondering, why did they seem like they were stranded? They didn't look like a proper civilization, but they looked like something that was very temporary. But I think episode two sort of gave a wider explanation. So it looked like Kanagi was actually a mining planet. I wouldn't say planet, but maybe an area because they showed that area. So what I'm guessing is what we saw were all children and they were sort of like in uniforms. So maybe their parents were the miners and the miners died and these children are the last surviving ones. So I'm not sure whether the theory works, but a lot of people are guessing the same thing out there. So what do you guys think?
I would agree. I don't think there's any crazy law out there lah. But it seems to me like the parents has been away for a very long time. Maybe something must have happened for a very long time, and the way they uh, celebrated when the ship fell, I think it looked like maybe there was a war there also. They weren't scared. They weren't like shaken. They were just like used to something flying over, and then to see it fall down, they kind of like celebrated for a while. So maybe it could be a war lah. A war took place there. Maybe I don't know. Then they lost everything, but it's kind of weird lah that only children survived. I think that part is a bit weird.
Yeah.
So I hope we get to see a bit more insights on that lah. I don't think we will unless they show us the sister's point of view. Because now we only know
Yeah.
his. So if they suddenly reveal the sister's point of view, then nice lah. That'd be nice.
I think it's something got to do with the smoke. I mean, if you guys noticed that there was like some kind of gas in the ship, and then people died. But when Cassian Andor entered the ship, he wasn't affected by anything, you know.
Mhm.
So who knows lah? Maybe it's one of those. Yeah. So the ship. If you take a closer look at the logo, it may look like the Empire's logo, but it's actually not. It's the Separatist logo. So the Separatists. It goes way back to during the attack of the clones. So basically, the attack of the clones took place, I think, probably like almost 10 years before the storyline. So when Cassian Andor was younger, that was when the war during the imperial takeover was going on. So this is when, like Eric mentioned, a war was going on. This was during that time when the imperial was taking over. Okay. So fast forward to the current time, and Cassian Andor is in Ferrix, and we get to see this bell ringing guy who rings the bell from the bell tower. So I'm surprised, for a civilization that's so advanced, they don't have any alarm clocks over there. But why I'm stating this is because it looks so interesting, because the big block of metal that guy was using to ring the bell, what metal did it look like? It looked like Beskar. Because if you guys watch The Mandalorian, you know that Beskar is a very, very precious metal that was only available in planet Mandalore, and only the Mandalorians used the metal. So the metal that this guy was using looked very much like it, the formation and everything.
You forget one
So
part to mention about Beskar.
what's it?
It can repel the lightsaber.
Yes, it can repel the lightsaber. So basically, Beskar is like the vibranium
Yeah.
of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to see that amount, I mean, I'm assuming it's Beskar because it looked like Beskar. There was no mention of it. But to have that huge amount of Beskar being used as a bell, I think that there's something
I
going
think I
on.
think the hammer he's using also seemed like Beskar too.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense lah to hit
Yeah.
Beskar with Beskar. But yeah, to know that, it's a precious metal, but hopefully, maybe it's not, maybe we got it wrong, but, let us know what you guys think in the comments below. If you guys have watched The Mandalorian, tell us what you think, right? So at the same time, we also introduced to the character Marva, who's played by Fiona Shaw. So later on in the storyline, it actually shows how she's involved in this series. Okay, and the story goes on where the Primo officers, seeking justice, they somehow got information on Cassian Andor, so they know where he is, and they went to hunt him. And Andor on the other side, Cassian on the other side, he's trying to sell this big piece of device which is called the NS9 Star Park unit. So basically, this device, a little detail here, lah. This device can actually make you invisible to the Imperial ships, but you can also detect all the Imperial ships that are around you in a radius of 9 parsecs. So parsecs is sort of like a distance measurement that is used in the Star Wars universe. So I think it's sort of like a big deal. But later on, you see, it's not really a big deal because they ended up losing that piece of box. So yeah. So in order to sell this thing, Tyson was going to meet this buyer, which is Luthien. Is it Luthien or Luthien? Luthien.
I don't know. Luthien.
Yeah, I call it Luthien because it sounds nicer. And Luthien played by Stellan Skarsgård. So this is Dr. Eric Selvig from the MCU.
Why are you
So
relating MCU stuff here?
I don't know, because again, we always do a lot of MCU stuff. I'm pretty sure you guys who are watching here, you guys are Marvel fans. So, we see the guy, okay, this is the guy that is really Dr. From, So,
Move along.
okay, so basically that's the ending for episode 2. Like, they have this some kind of a bit was going on while Christian was walking. I was like, okay, nice. So episode three, basically didn't really reveal so much. It just further explained into Cassian's flashback. So in the flashback, Marva saves Cassian. I don't know why she decided to save only the one time, not all the kids who stranded over there. But yeah, she decided to save that one boy, and there's a very likelihood that all the other kids were killed. They were killed by the Republic. Because there's a little bit of confusion here because Marva says that the children killed the Republic officer, but the officer that was killed was actually a separatist officer based on the logo. So there's a little confusion going over there, but probably they will rectify it later. Lah. So you know that when we say that Cassian is the last person of his race, probably all of the children, remaining children of the planet are killed by the Republic. But who knows? The story still hasn't unfolded. So Lutheran, he recruits Cassian. So this is the beginning of his rebelship, where he's going to join the Star Wars rebels and he's going to fight against the Empire, the Imperial whatever. So yeah, it was sort of nice to see how this episode actually the entire town, that Felix town, actually have a way to alert each other of a certain threat and how they took over the threat. So by that bringing of the metal thing and everyone was just prepared to take over. So this town is very used to facing these kind of threats, especially from the Primo officers. So maybe later on they will be this I would say disbanded this is a word ceraikan because we don't really hear from about the Prima officers in the future stories. So yeah, and finally Cassian escapes with Luthian, and he has this flashback where he was saved by Marva, and yeah, that's basically the ending of episode 3.
Wait,
So we know that this rebelness, yes.
I want to stop you. You didn't mention one part. Why was Casa or Cassian hitting the ship with so much anger? The separatist ship. I think that's a big deal to like think about. Cause
Do you have a theory or not?
no, I don't have a theory. That's why I came up with the war thing. The war must have killed their parents, left them there to die, and then they survived, and then he got angry. I think
Yeah, I think that's my theory too. Because you see, when the moment he got angry was when he saw his reflection, right? So I'm thinking that they were stranded for quite some time. That when he saw himself, he's like probably he looks way different than how he was, and he's just angry that everyone just got stranded. Probably because of the war, or because their parents were killed. Yeah, so I'm guessing that.
yeah, that's that's the only thing lah.
Yeah, I think that's where the storyline is
Yeah.
going. So now we know the root of the storyline. Cassian is on a path to become a rebel, and at the same time, he's looking for his sister. So a little bit of exposition will go on over there to show him saving his sister. And I don't know. I'm just hoping that maybe we might see a cameo of Felicity Jones uh, as Jane also. I don't know, but yeah, maybe not because the moment when Jane also joined, Cassian was already a seasoned rebel, right? So maybe that's like 5 years from now. So see lah. So yeah, basically that's that. Anything you guys want to add?
No, I think you said it
For
all.
me, I just think it's good that they got these first 3 episodes out of the way because it was boring. It wasn't much like the typical. I mean, it is not a typical Star Wars sort of story that we have come to know and love. But of course, it's good that we have certain character arcs that they want to push and things like that. So, although we know his ultimate fate, but it's something lah, right? And and I heard there's going to be 2 seasons, total 24 episodes over 2 seasons. So I think they are just doing him justice for killing him off in Rogue One lah.
Or they have a lot of stories to explain and connect the dots.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I'm hoping that this connects to something that they can push on, rather than we know that okay, he goes through a journey and then what happens in Rogue One, that's it, and then it just dies off like that. But I'm hoping that they have a vision of where this story will lead to.
I have a feeling I
Yeah,
think they'll
yeah.
connect to Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I don't see the connection, but if they have a connection, then I'm okay with that lah.
There is a connection. Even in Ahsoka also. Well, Ahsoka not really lah. More to Obi-Wan I think. Obi-Wan there is.
Yeah,
Obi-Wan
maybe.
was alive.
Yeah. He was alive, but during that time he was like still in exile. So I don't know if there will be any contact with Obi-Wan lah.
It's another 5 years till he comes back lah.
Yeah, but I mean, when you see the ending of Obi-Wan, he wasn't sort of like far away in exile. He was still on Tatooine, but just like hidden. So like you can still reach me out anytime you want, unless like 5 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So
I think before we watch Obi-Wan, I mean at the beginning of the Obi-Wan, he didn't want to get involved at all. But now he kind of like, okay, I'm a Jedi. I'll still help, but I still want to be in exile. That kind of thing. So I agree with what Jess said. If you need help, just call me, ring me up. So I think we can see the connection there. Maybe in terms of storyline, I don't think the two characters will clash. If they do, that'll be very interesting. But I don't think they will clash. I don't think they'll clash. Yeah.
So yeah, how many episodes are there again for Andor to go?
If they said 24 episodes over 2 seasons, this must be 12 lah.
Yeah.
12. So we have another 9 episodes to go. So yeah,
9
a lot
episodes
can
for just to
unravel.
break down.
Yeah, for us to break down.
You know how to count.
Hey, don't scare me. 9 lah. We already have 3 episodes.
That's why I say. That's why I say you know how to count.
I like just old school counting. Like what?
12, correct. So yeah, hope it won't get so boring with filler episodes. And I hope that it actually unravels a few stuff lah.
But I think I would prefer more action.
Yeah, I mean I would prefer that too. I don't think we'll see lightsabers. Maybe I don't think there'll be lightsabers.
Even
It's
if we
more
see also, it will not
grounded.
be a very big thing lah. Just like a small thing and then
Yeah,
far off in the distance. Because now this is the time the Jedi's are in hiding also, right? So we might not see lah.
Yeah.
But we
won't get
might
to
see
the-
Darth Vader.
Yeah, I have a feeling we might, because maybe during his first stage of being a rebel, Vader is very aware and he might try to get involved in this. But who knows? Maybe we might see more of him in season 2, since you mentioned the season 2. But yeah, that'd be nice.
Yes.
So yeah, basically that's it for Andor episode 1, 2, and 3. Like I mentioned, we never really do a breakdown, never really go into detail because there's 3 episodes. We just explain what's going on. If there's anything that we missed out, you can always let us know in the comments below. And yeah, our Star Wars hardcore fan Harvin is not here, but don't worry, he will be here for the following episodes, hopefully, so that he will give.
I like how you said opening.
So that he will give a little bit of insight in the Star Wars canon as well lah. Okay, so yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe our YouTube channel, The Geek Street, so that you can get a lot more videos like this, and make sure to share it with your friends, because we go into a lot of details that you guys might like. And also follow us on Facebook and Instagram, thegeekstreet.my, and also you can join us in our Discord community, which is in the link is in the description below, where we talk basically anything Marvel, Star Wars, or whatever movies that are out there. We just geek out. So yeah, we are the Geek Street, and the street is spoken. Till the next time, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.